I ask the universe to protect the reader, the querent, and the reading so that we get the highest good out of this. The Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities for wealth and money in the horizon. And the bottom of the deck is the Tower, which is pure Mars energy. Something suddenly coming into your life and changing it topsy-turvy. The Three of Cups. A celebration is on the horizon. And the horologer. Maybe you are going to attend a marriage. Four of airships. You desperately need a rest to recover, or you might end up being burnt out. On the bottom of the deck is Six of airships, which indicates you might be traveling most probably over water, or that you are moving from a distressing situation to a calmer waters. The Sun of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. Someone is coming into your life in a romantic way, or maybe a highly beneficial business proposal is on its way to find you. Ten of Cups, familial happiness. Maybe you are going to start a new family with this Knight of Cups. Oh, but you must be careful. Look at this, the Ten of Wands. Make sure that you identify the Knight of Cups properly, or you might just end up getting backstabbed like this. For some people, it might be that you are currently at your rock bottom, and this Knight of Cups is going to help you find your Ten of Cups, your own peace and happiness. And the bottom of the deck is the Five of Wands. You might be entering a slightly competitive phase in your life where you will be forced to fight for what you believe in. The Chariot. Some of you are currently on a mission. You are highly focused and you are ready to mow down anyone who stands in your path. Rest assured, victory is yours. The Lovers. It might mean that a new love is coming into your life, something that was guided by your spirit guides and angels towards you. You might also be in a tough spot regarding making decisions. Listen to your intuition and you will make the right choice. Oh, the Seven of Rods, the card of the underdog. You might have to defend your choice to the people around you because though it might look foolish now, it's going to yield rich rewards later on. Three of Swords. Make sure that you take the high road while taking the decision. But even then, sometimes when we choose to go for something, we are going against another thing. Such is the nature of life. Don't let it break your heart. Some of you might be dealing with a heartbreak. It's high time you healed yourself because something new is on its way to you. Ooh, this is the second time Hierophant is showing up. Someone is getting married. And the bottom of the deck is Eight of Cups. Again, some short travel is indicated. Maybe you are traveling over land. Some of you are holding on to a situation that should have ended a long time ago. It's time you stacked up your cups and let go so you can go on to greener pastures. While some of you are quitting too easily, you might need to wait out because just like the moon, some things are being hidden from you. What looks bad today might be doing good to you in the future. Hi, if you chose the sunlight being reflected on sea, then this is your reading. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas, 1, 2, 3 aces. This tells me people see you as a major player wherever you go. Their first impression is the Two of Wands, that you are a well traveled person, someone who holds the world in their hands. People look at you as this magician, someone who can conjure things out of nothing. At the same time, they also see you as a heart-centered person. This is the most romantic of all the kings, and also the most creative. You tend to be quite charming when you want to. However, you might get a bit too much into your feelings for some people. You are also seen as a psychic person because the King of Cups, he connects to the world above and the world below, and he is especially well connected to the underworld. So you might intuitively believe some people and be repelled by others because your connection to the energies and spirits is very strong. You are also seen as a very fair person, someone who cuts through the clouds of ignorance and confusion to bring light down upon the earth. You are highly competitive and you win anything that you put your mind into. You might be truthful to the point of cruelty. You are a star. You might already be famous, or you are in the path for it. Even if you don't realize, people tend to look up to you as a point of hope and inspiration, and you are very happy to guide them towards their good fortunes. There is a dark side to you. Like the moon, you have two sides. You wax and wane in terms of your emotions and feelings, but you are quite adept at hiding it, being as people see you as a star. This might cause some undue stress to you, but not to worry. You know when to draw your emotional boundaries. You might be practicing occult on your own. You might not even realize it. The moon also shows that there might be some feminine energies that are dominant in your surrounding. Maybe there is a woman or women who you respect and admire. You are quite a loving person, but you are not going to hand out your heart like sweets in a candy shop. You are made for commitment. You are waiting for a soulmate who is on their way to you, or maybe you have already found your soulmate and are in a relationship with them. People look at you, look at your romantic aspects and think you are a playboy or a playgirl, but you do not play. Everyone thinks they know what you are about, but you always have something hidden, something in the dark that you feel is better off in the shadows. You are an affectionate and kind person, someone who extends their love to everyone. But you can be quite sneaky when you want to. You always have an ace up your sleeve. But you tend to use that for the greater good. You are a master of healing and moderation. You are divinely guided, and sometimes you feel it in your own life, and you always use it to make things better. Even in your personal life, you might be the rock for someone's tempests. You are quite loyal and fair, and you are extremely committed to those who are willing to commit to you. But you might have quite a temper. You may be slow to anger, given that you show up as the heart-centered king. But once you get going, you will destroy the very foundations of the one who wronged you. And you are quite adept at it. You hold this part of you in the darkness. You hold this very tightly reined, and that is for the good of everyone around you. If you wish to, you can manipulate the people into doing whatever you want. You are the star after all. But you do not do that because you believe in the greater good. You have this irresistible charm about you that draws people in. But your inner circle is quite small. That doesn't deter you from making moolah, however. You were born lucky. You are destined to make some great wealth in this lifetime, and you have only just begun. You sound like an amazing person. Have a great life, Pile 1. Bye. Hi, if you chose the forest landscape, then this is your reading. You have 1, 2, 3 pages in your reading. People tend to look at you and think you are younger than your age. You have quite a young heart. People look at you and think adventurer, explorer, a fighter. As the young page of wands, carrying the fire of passion and creativity, you are ready for any challenge that life throws at you. But life has a bad habit of testing your limits, because wherever you go, strife and limitations will follow you. People will try to tie you down. Sometimes you might even doubt your own mission. Am I doing the right thing? Am I going overboard? But you will overcome these limitations, these setbacks, because you are destined to create something great in this lifetime. Now, this is the card of Saturn. It is a slow moving and very restrictive energy, just like Saturn is cold and harsh. However, if you brave it, you will be rewarded richly later in your life. For some reason, I'm thinking of Einstein. Like, this guy, he failed school and ended up being in a position that is not exactly scientifically inclined. However, he kept working on his craft and became the greatest scientist of all time in his later years. You show up as the Queen of Pentacles, which is a given, I think, because having gone through life and met with all the bad things and good things that it has given to you, you tend to be a generous and giving person, constantly thinking about how to make your castle more secure, how to give better things to people. You might have a childhood dream that you will establish much later in your life, or you might have a sweetheart that you met during childhood who will become your spouse in the later life. This is also the card of gifts. Given that you are the Queen of Pentacles, you tend to be quite generous, willingly engaging in charity. But make sure that you don't get caught up in the reveries, because given that the devil shows up for you, you might unknowingly fall into a rut and become stagnant, or you might become fearful of what will come, losing this quality of explorer and adventurer, and just end up maintaining the status quo. You will be forced to move on from some very hard circumstances, and people can see that when they see you. And this is not just empty chatter. You have been through some harrowing times, and people who you trusted have stabbed you in the back when you took on more than you can manage and ended up taking the fall for it. You come off as quite a tough person, though earlier you started out as the carefree Page of Wands. This has turned you into a heart-centered person. The Page of Cups brings kindness and affection and empathy into every place she goes. Similarly, in spite of going through very hard times yourself, you tend to give people the benefit of doubt and many second chances. Just make sure that you don't get backstabbed again. You tend to be a healing presence wherever you go. You are guided by angels, and people can feel it when they come in contact with you. You know, you might be the kind of person who gets random strangers telling them their deepest and darkest secrets. Just make sure that you don't overextend yourself. You know, in spite of all your trauma, you still show up as the Page of Wands, the eternally optimistic young girl shouting out her creed from the mountains for the world to hear. People look at you and think you are a smoke show, like you have so many options to choose from. Why would you even bother with them? You have some darkness in your past, and that makes you all the more mysterious and enticing to a whole lot of people. You might also be struggling with some addiction issues. Maybe you are addicted to your mobile phone. Maybe it might be alcohol or drugs. But you will come out of it in your own pace. And people tend to respect you all the more because you have faced these struggles and there is this inner strength in you. You know the Al Capone quote, "Don't mistake my kindness for my weakness." That's the kind of vibe that you give off to people. You sound like a great person, Pile 2. I wish you the best of luck and bye. Hi, if you chose the yellow marbled obelisk columns, then this is your reading. I feel like someone is watching all the piles because this temperance card, this is the third time it is showing up in the reading. And the devil too. Okay, this is the pile of the leaders. Right off the bat, people tend to be very intimidated by you. Why not? You have 3 knights in your reading, and not just ordinary knights. Knight of Swords twice, and the Knight of Wands. Not to mention the Emperor, the King of Rods, which is the King of Wands, and Strength. The first impression, however, is that you are extremely smart. There is nothing that can be got past you. People tend to be afraid of you because they feel you can sniff out their secrets if you want to. And not only that, you are always ready to act upon it. You might be in law or business where street smarts are more important than book smarts. But you tend to have this calming aura where they want to talk to you despite their initial misgivings. Your presence tends to be quite healing. You balance out the equation in any situation. You might be an activist who believes in giving voice to the voiceless people. And you are not afraid to take up the one for the right cause. People look at you and they see this energetic young man, this hero who will fight till the death for whatever he believes in. You might scare a few people because while you are energetic and youthful and raring to go, you might also seem reckless and a little bit of a tyrant to some. You may be Sherlock Holmes, but people are afraid that you might become Jim Moriarty. Your extreme passion and amazing intelligence can be used for good as well as bad. You're someone who lives a public facing life. You tend to be popular even if you are not interested in it, because people think you have all these options, that you are quite a temptation. You are like this lost city of Atlantis that is fabled and sought after by everyone. But you might also be hiding a few dangers that they are wary of. You carry this inner strength in you that is quite attractive no matter what. Like this young woman who is manning this Megatron. You have magnificent control over your own animalistic impulses, which if released can cause catastrophic damage. But you don't, and that is making you all the more powerful. You know, there is a quote, I forgot who said it, that if we want peace, we must prepare for war. Similarly, you are always prepared for war, so people tend to hold their peace around you. You might have a few bad habits, that might be holding you back. Maybe you procrastinate, maybe it is a substance, or you might be battling an inner demon that you tend to keep hidden within your heart, or you might be fighting your shadow through the good deeds that you do publicly. Whatever it is, you can't stand bullies. If you see something unfair happening, you just have to talk about it, and you are willing to fight tooth and nail to make sure that it is brought back to justice and fairness. Just make sure that you don't go too far. If you stare too long into the abyss will stare back at you. So don't go too far persecuting the bullies that you become one yourself. In any situation that you are in, people tend to look up to you as the authority. You are the emperor. You might be falling into leadership positions naturally, while others are trying years and years for it. And you are a fair and just ruler. You will fight for the righteous cause, but also if someone touches your ego, you will become this unstoppable lion and tear them apart. But pride may be your one major downfall. The other thing is your own mind. It is really interesting that the strength card and 8 of swords have come one after the other. Your mind might be your greatest asset, but it is also your worst enemy. If you convince yourself that you are trapped in this position, and then you have the strength to trap yourself forever, in spite of being literally overpowered. A few bad people might convince you that you are trapped like this, but you will face worse consequences if you are outside this ring than when you are inside. The day you realize that you have the strength to break out of anything is the day you become the emperor. Maybe you have already broken through your barriers, or you might be in the process of breaking it right now. Either way, when people see you, they see pure power that has been restrained only by the force of their own will. In spite of being such an intimidating and wild person, you are a romantic at heart. You are like a swan that mates for life. You might have this one true love that you are waiting for, or maybe you are already with, whom you are extremely loyal towards. And this is an equal relationship, so the same feelings are reciprocated. So you are a lion outside and a lover within. You sound like a splendid person. Thank you for joining us pile 3. If you are drawn to pile 2, please check it out. And bye. Hi, if you chose the red fort with the tower and pigeons, then this is your reading. You got 4 of these cards. Pile 4, you have 1, 2 kings, 1, 2 knights, and both of them are Knight of Cups. This is the King of Cups and the King of Swords. Right off the bat, you give off this rich boy vibes. People look at you and think, for some reason this is giving me the vibe of the Hindu goddess Mahalakshmi. People think that you are blessed in terms of wealth. Maybe you were born into it, or you are currently generating it. Anyway, you just smell of money, and you are just amazing when it comes in terms of willpower and dedication. They look at you and they see the magician, someone who controls all 4 elements to create whatever they wish. You might probably be into the occult or practice some magic of sorts. Either way, some people might find you quite scary because you work with both light and dark. You are not only in touch with your dark side works for you. You have this killer intuition where you might possibly predict things even. People also think of you as absurdly lucky, like you take these wild risks that somehow pay off. Initially those who call you fool will later call you the magician, because you are constantly winning. Jealous ones might just say that you were born with advantage, so you're just making bank off of it. However, you also come off as this terrific team player, someone who is willing to give up on ego so that the team wins. Instead of you yourself being the star player, you are willing to share the spotlight as long as the end result is good. Given the fact that you have the Lady of Submersibles, which is the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups in your reading, I am getting the vibe of power couple. You might have a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend whom you absolutely adore. You are just the lovey-dovey couple who makes all the singles jealous. Not only that, you are emotionally quite well balanced and nurturing. You can be highly creative. Maybe you are involved in arts of some sort. You tend to put all of your effort in it, and you create some masterpieces while you are at it. This is the card of mastery. What you are creating will last not only this lifetime, but for generations to come. Given the fact that you show up as the Knight of Cups twice, people tend to find you to be this irresistibly charming and romantic person. Although you might come off as a bit naive and idealistic to some people. This is the card of Pisces. You have wallowed in the depths of your feelings. You have reached places where light would never touch, and that makes you quite the poet. Your art reflects the heart. When people look at you, they think of you as this busy butterfly who's constantly juggling between appointments. Some people look at you and they feel tired because you have this balance of so many things. You have too many balls in the air and you are juggling them quite adeptly. Some people might also think that you are a spendthrift who always overdraws their account. They don't know that you can generate wealth whenever you want to. You have come into this life to close out a cycle that has been going on for a long time. Or maybe you will undergo some great adventure that ends up reaping high rewards. In this process, you might get your heart broken. You might face failures, but out of it, you come out as the strong king of swords, who is as fair as he is mighty. Like the eagle, he soars above all and sees all, and he is fair to everyone. People see you as someone who can just shake off any failures and come back 100 times powerful. You sound like a great person, Pile 4. I think it will be amazing to meet you. That was your reading. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.